It's later in the day. I have not been very well at all, but it's fine. I look fabulous. It is problematic. G'day, it is time for a brand new cosplay build. And this is going to be a bit of a speed build because I really want to get this done within about 3 weeks. Ha 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 ha. Okay, so 3 to 4 weeks. But that is basically the deadline that I'm working on. And it's a bit of a complicated one. I have done the mock-up, but this is what I'm creating. I'm creating Sunset Dragon's Donald Duck. This cosplay has been living rent-free in my mind for years at this point, and I really want to do it, so I'm gonna do it. Let me just get something. I mean, look at this. This is something that Sunset Dragon printed out for me and gave to me when we met like a year ago, not 2 years, a year ago at C2E2 when I was doing TOF in the Crown Championships. And like, she knew I loved it like even before then, and that's why she printed it out for me, and I adore it, and I want to add it up to my collection of Sunset Dragon designs that I've made that I have in printable form. You might see some of those posters of Red and also TOF in the reflection when I am trying on costumes in the sewing room. So I want to add this one to that list. So yeah, it's pretty clear. I love this design. But just like all other Sunset Dragon designs, it's a bit complicated. So what I have done so far is that I have done this mock-up, and I have also 3D modeled the little boys that go on the chest and at the end of the sailor's collar. And to be honest, like, I'm not very good at 3D modeling. I am still very much a newbie when it comes to 3D modeling. I only delved into it with TOF, and now again with Donald Duck. And honestly, it is so joyous for me when I get it. It's a new skill that I said that I wanted to develop because I'm not very good at it. And even though these are simple things that I'm making, I had to use all of my like knowledge and test and try and all these other things to make it so that I could create, especially the ones at the back, a removable piece that I then also hollowed out a section so that I could create an anchor so that it looks like the boy is going to be dangling free from the top of the, or rather the base of the actual sailor collar thing. It's just like hanging there and there's no actual loop as such. So I'm hopefully, I hope that I've got this correct. But we'll get to that later on, no doubt. So about this mock-up, I have been doing this over the last week or so, whilst also battling an illness. So I have been very sick for the past 2 weeks. And for the last week, I've still been going to work full time. It's not pleasant. At first, they thought it was a virus. And then when the antibiotics weren't working, I went back to the doctor. She did another full test over me and she went, "Oh, you have a chest infection and bronchitis. That's why the antibiotics weren't working." So, yay! So now I'm on steroids, woohoo! But not for long, it's just to try and clear this up, and hopefully I'm gonna get sleep soon because I miss sleep. But I don't have time to focus on being sick. I am going to do as much as I can until I need to rest because I really want to get this cosplay done before the beginning of March, and it is currently like the 8th of February. So yes, please pray for me. So over here, I have my fabrics, and truthfully, a lot of that is silk. Why silk? Well, because Barbie was all polyester, and I decided that I wanted to treat myself and make something really pretty using pretty fabrics. So that is what I'm doing. And I've got a range of different silks there. There's some taffetas, there is some chiffon, there's other sorts as well. Like, I think that one of them is a cotton silk blend, which I'm excited to work with. But yeah, they're all from my stash, so I'm excited to use them finally. I've only just finished the mock-up, and the collar was the last thing that I finished. So I want to try it on before I take it all, you know, apart. But I can't do that until Terry gets home. So what I'm going to start on today is I'm going to start on like the earrings, like carving out the earrings out of foam clay. And then I'm going to see what else I can do. I've also bought a few items for this project, such as knee-high stockings and also some yellow, very 80s or 90s like leg warmers that are in mustard yellow. They're not perfect, but they're gonna do the job for now. I'll probably upgrade that in the future. That's what I'm thinking here. Like, this is a cosplay that I want to do the base of it really quite nicely, and then the additions, I will work on that in the future, you know, when I've got a little bit more time. But the shoes are interesting. So I found these shoes in Kmart because do you think that I can find plain white Mary Janes that are flat in Australia? Because I did not want to order them online, because every time I order Mary Janes like online, they are always so uncomfortable. So I decided, no, I need to get something that is, you know, similar. So they are the right shape, but they have all of these metal studs on them. I'm not going to remove the metal studs. Once again, this is going to be something that probably is upgraded in the future, but for now, it's absolutely fine. And honestly, it's gonna kind of work with the cosplay, so I'm not too fussed. So enough of talking, because my throat is going hoarse even after speaking for a couple of minutes. I am going to get foam clay out and I'm going to start sculpting the little duck feet that will become the earrings. I have feet for earrings. Yay! Yep, this was an interesting process, and sculpting is something I'm not great at, but I think it's possible. So now I'm just going to chuck these on a drying rack to let them air out, cure, and then I'll be able to paint them and mount them onto some earring bases. So Terry is still out of the house, so I still can't try on the mock-up in its final form. So, well, I'm hoping it's the final form. That's the whole purpose of a mock-up. But I thought I'd move on to the beret. So she's got this cute little hat, and I checked with Sunset Dragon. I'm like, is this a sailor's hat or is this a beret? And she said it's a beret. So that is what we're going for. I bought this little cute little blue beret just off eBay, but I've got to make some changes. So the band needs to actually be a dark blue, and then there's also tails that come off the hat from the center, it looks like. So I think that there's going to be a cute little bow in the center of that as well. Now, this fabric I'm going to use for this. You can see I'm still not firing on all cylinders because of this stupid sickness that I have. But I've got this really lovely silk taffeta. Here she is. Isn't she just absolutely gorgeous? She is from The Sewing Basket, which is a wonderful store over in Sydney, or multiple stores in Sydney, which sell secondhand fabrics. And every time I'm in Sydney, I beg my friend Cora Berry Cosplay to take me and let me buy many things. And on the last trip, I got this beautiful silk taffeta. Anyway, it is pretty much the right color, and so I'm going to do the band out of this, as well as a tiny little bow and then long tails that come to about here out of this. And then this will also be used on the little detailing on the feet that hang off her the top of her socks. So yes, it's only a small amount that I'll be using of this beautiful silk, but I'm glad that I am going to be using it, because I kept on coming back to it wondering how I could work it into this costume when the other two blues are very, very similar. This was just too dark to replace one of them. So yay, it just feels so nice. I love silk. So first thing I'm going to do is cut out a bit of a bias strip to then sew over the top of this bottom. So I'm going to do that first. Oh, and the other thing I'm realizing is that I'm going to have to sew in some sort of comb into the front of this beret, so that way I can slide it and it will stay in place when it's like worn with the wig. Because the wig is long and heavy. I haven't even taken it out yet. I think I might do that. hang on, let's do that and I'll show you guys. So here is the wig. She's very long. Definitely need to style the bangs a whole lot, and I think that with this one I will need to wear a wig grip because she is so heavy. Oh my goodness me. She has a lot of hair to her. This wig I bought from a seller off AliExpress that Cora suggested. She's bought multiple of these wigs, I believe, or at least once from the seller in a different color, and I saw that wig and it was so full and so luscious, and she really recommended them, and I thought, yeah, okay, I'll splurge, I'll get it. And yeah, she is a very full long white wig, like I would say almost to the same quality as Ada, although she has got a fair bit of just hairs coming out, but like she's got so much hair to her. But yes, it will be fun once I shorten up the fringe and I wear this with a proper wig grip. I think that this is going to be really cute. And yeah, bam. I really just want to be better. All right, let's get cracking on the band of the beret. Brain not working. Terry has just come home, so that means I can get into the mock-up, but I have just finished the hat. So this is what it looks like from the front. Oh, not that interesting, I know, but it is secured with the comb in the front here, and then this is the back. Hopefully the back looks good, because obviously I can't really see it when it's on my head, but I think it looks cute. So yay, that's good. The feet are still drying, but that is what they'll look like. Really, really cute. They could have been maybe a tad bigger, but really it's like a couple of millimeters difference. It's fine. Also, I'm very sorry that I did not get any clips of me kind of doing the bias binding or making the bow or the tails for this. My camera really needed the battery to charge, so it was on charge while I was doing all of that. But yay, okay, so first accessory is done. Yay! Ta-da! Here is the mock-up in all of her beige glory. So let me just do a quick little turn. Isn't she gorgeous? So I'm really happy with how this is all fitting, how it's feeling. I know it looks like a mess. And that is because when you do a mock-up, you should have all the seams facing outwards so you can pick and choose and move things around as you need to work on them. But like, I guess when you've got the experience and understanding, like, you know what it's gonna look like. And that's why I'm feeling really confident about this. The other thing is that the collar was the only thing that I really needed to look at, because the rest of it I've altered during the course of the last week. And what I found was that I needed to add an extra little bit, I needed to make it longer across here because it does dip down slightly, because there's going to be a big bow here. And also I need to add an extra inch onto the top here and then graduate it down at the front and at the back, just because the collar just needs to be a little bit wider than my actual kind of shoulders as such. Like, they should really finish at the edge of my shoulders, and then there are feathers coming out of that. So that is what we are doing. But yes, I'm feeling really positive about this. So I will start cutting out my fabric. So I realized that I've got my fashion fabrics, but I don't necessarily have all of my lining fabrics, which may mean that tomorrow I need to make a spotlight run. But tonight I'm going to start cutting out that which I know. So yay! Oh, I'm so excited. I love it when a mock-up comes together. Good morning. So I have spent this morning and last night cutting out the pieces of fabric that I need, and I decided just to line it in itself because I had plenty of the fabric that I had. I know it seems a bit wrong to be lining silk with silk, but it's fine. So now I'm going to get dressed into some proper clothing so that I can go out in public. I know, I'm putting this out into the internet where there is the public that watch this, but oh well. So I need to get dressed because I need to go to Spotlight. I've got a few things to buy, including a ring base so I can finish off Barbie's ring, but I also need a zipper, some more soft interfacing. I thought I had a whole heap of soft interfacing and I cannot find it. So I'm gonna get some more soft interfacing so that I can interface the tails for the sailor collar. And I also need to get some heat and bond heavy, so heavy duty non-sew, because I am planning on using that for the feathers with a technique that Miss Twisted, aka Charlotte, did. I was like, gee, how am I gonna make these feathers? And then Charlotte was like, I have an idea, and she showed me what she did in this video. I'm gonna link it up the top there. And I was like, that's really cool and easy, and I'm going to use that for my feathers, I think. So yay. But I need some heat and bond no sew, which, considering I just bought a whole lot of heat bond sewable, it seems very frustrating. But yeah, I need like the stuff that you can't necessarily sew through, or you shouldn't be sewing through. You can sew through it, you just shouldn't. So to Spotlight. All the pieces of the main parts of Donald Duck has now been cut out. Here they are. So we've got the bodice, the skirt, pockets for the skirt, the sleeves, the sailor collar, and the cincher. So yay, I'm going to work on the main dress today. I've got the zipper from Spotlight, picked that up. I have also gone ahead and interfaced the cuffs, and with the medium interfacing I've just bought from Spotlight, I've cut out and interfaced the lining of the sailor collar as well. I've also decided that rather than making the cincher in like multiple sections, I've done it as one long piece. Hopefully it will work, and I'm just going to interline that with this buckram. So hopefully that's going to work, and it's going to be nice and secure. And I think up the back I'm going to connect it with hook and eyes. Update time, the bodice is now together. It does not have the zip in the back because I need the skirt to be attached before I do that, but the shoulders are all sewn together and it's looking pretty schmick. I'm pretty happy with it. So I am now also working on the skirt. So I started off by organizing the ruffles. So the ruffles are 5 pieces of about 150 or 160 centimeters wide, cut to about 8 inches, I think, something like that. And then I've done a rolled hem, French seamed them all together, and then I have gone ahead and I've put in gathering stitches in equal 4 distances, because the skirt itself is going to be in 3 pieces, but realistically it's going to be 4, because you have the 2 back pieces, the side piece that will have the pockets in it, and then the front piece is 1 big piece, but of course you've got your center front. So I'm going to put the skirt together, or rather I have cut the circle skirts so that there is the front piece and the 2 side pieces for both the lining and also the outer fabric. Once again, made from the same fabrics, because that may flick up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here, have some dinner, come back and get this done. I really would love to get the skirt attached to the bodice tonight. I am feeling incredibly tired because the sickness is really kicking my butt, and I had very little sleep last night. But I really want to get this part done, because if I get this part done, I will feel like it's on a really good journey to get done in the time frame that I'm setting myself for this project. So I've got to do that when I get back, and I'm going to add the pockets into the outer fabric. And my thought process, because I've done it before, is I will lay out the circle skirt, like the outer fabric, the fashion layer, even though they're exactly the same, down, put the ruffles on around the circle, pin those into place, and then lay on top the lining fabric, and then go through, sew it all down so that when it's turned out the right way, it is just an open seam at the waist, which then I can overlock, and then I can go ahead and attach that to the bodice. I don't know if I'll get the zip in tonight, because I know with the zip I want to have my like head switched on to do a zipper. Even though this zipper, you're not going to see it, most of it is covered by the Cincher and the tails and like sailor collar and also the wig, but still, we hate a zip. Good evening, it is now 10:30 at night. I'm calling it a night, but I have the base dress together, which I'm so happy for. I haven't got the zip in the back, but I didn't think I was gonna get there. But everything is on, everything has been overlocked where there's raw edges. There's only one section in the back, which I'm a little bit concerned about, which is this section down here, because I didn't think ahead. And so part of it has been sewn together down here as like a regular seam, and then I've tried to flatline it. You know what, I'll fudge it with the zip, it's fine. But that is it with the hat, which I've also made yesterday. So I feel like I've made really good progress on this cosplay in a short amount of time, and I've got everything, all the main parts cut out. I've made my trip spotlight. Yeah, I'm feeling good about it. I just wish that I was feeling healthier. You can hear it in my voice, or I think that you can hear it in my voice. This is the highest, like the loudest that I can talk at the moment without absolutely just starting coughing immediately. As soon as I stop recording, I will have a coughing fit as well, so that's fun. One thing I'm really happy about this, look at the pockets. And the pockets are actually sewn in between the fashion layer and the lining, so you are not able to see any of the pockets poking out, because the ruffle is also wedged between the fashion layer and the lining layer, and I think that looks really, really cute. So happy days. All right, good night. I'll see you when I work on this one again. Good morning. So I have gone ahead and put the zip in, and Terry also said to me that the petticoat didn't look full enough, so I've replaced it with a very full petticoat, and Terry was right. After all these years, I should have learned that when Terry says something, he's usually right when it comes to cosplay. Damn it. Anyway, today I wanted to start working on the Cincher, and so I pulled out the fabric, and in the light of day I've just put it on, and I just think that the two blues are too close, which is very frustrating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick dye bath and just make the Cincher and the pieces for the sailor collar just slightly darker. That is my hope. Hopefully I can do it. I'm still not well, you can probably hear that in my throat, but I do want to dye this, and while that's drying, I'm hoping that I can then do the sleeves. I was really hoping that I was going to get through at least one of these Sunset Dragon designs without dyeing fabric, but yeah, I'm also worried that there may be some more shrinkage with the fabric, with the dyeing, which would really suck because they're very specific to the sizing, so I'm hoping that there won't be much shrinkage, but fingers crossed. I have completed my test pieces, so this is my control piece. This was the first batch that I did, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2, 3, 5 minutes, where I used half of the dye that I had left in my bottle, and it was just a little bit too light, so I added the rest of what was in the bottle, and then I did a 5 minutes and a 10 minutes. This I think is too dark, but this is about the right shade, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in for between 3 and 5 minutes, because it doesn't really look like there's too much difference up here of what these two were. So yeah, I'm just going to do that, and I think that that is going to be the right kind of colors. This is the dye now dry. It is a little bit darker than I wanted it to be, but it is what it is. It's still fine. I still think it looks better than what it did. It really separates the kind of cincher and the collar from the rest of the dress, which is what I wanted. It did turn out a little bit more purple than blue as well, which is a little bit annoying, but you know what? We're just gonna go along with it. It's fine. I think the thing that annoys me about this though is that this is the blue taffeta, the dark blue taffeta that I was using for the accent on the hat and will be on the socks as well. And it's almost the same kind of depth. The cincher is still a bit lighter, but it's like, I don't know if you can see, like it's two different blues, and that's really annoying me. But, oh well. It's fine. I mean, it's gonna look all good together, I think. It's just, at the moment, it looks very stark because it's just the blues. But this costume does have the whites and some gold and some red, so hopefully that will break it up enough. But it's slightly annoying. It's later in the day. I have not been very well at all, but the cincher is now done, and I've got the buttons on it. And it all fits. I tested it. Happy days. Well, I haven't tried the whole outfit on, but I put the cincher on and it was fine. But I want to show you these buttons because there's something really cool about them. So up close you can see that they are naval, and they are Australian naval, and these are actually antique, real metal naval buttons that were actually from my grandfather. I just thought they were really cute, and they're a little bit smaller than what they should be, but I just thought Donald Duck being kind of naval theme, it was too good of an opportunity to pass, and that way I've got a little bit of my grandfather and my grandmother because she like took them off and kept them in her stash. It's always nice to have a little bit of them with me with these cosplays. Terry has just helped me out by drawing up these Donald Duck feet. So we've got one that's 9 centimeters long, 10 centimeters long, and 11 centimeters long, because on the sleeve there are gold footprints that are all over the sleeve. And I think what I'm going to go with is the 10 centimeter one. That just seems to be the right kind of length. So probably tomorrow or in the near future, I will go ahead and start cutting them out of the applique paper and then doing the gold over the top. So that's what's next, other than painting the earrings, because that's an easy one and I think I'll start on that tonight. It's now later in the afternoon and I have gone ahead and traced out all the feet for the sleeves on the applique paper. Then I have ironed that down, and I have then ironed the foil over the top. And the result are these sleeves with these gold duck footprints? I'm not sure. Flipper prints. So that is looking as it is. It is not perfect, and I am okay with this. I have just been experimenting with Barbie and Donald with this foiling technique, and I really do enjoy it. It is problematic, but it is very interesting, and I do enjoy just playing with these types of projects. Donald Duck is not going to be entered into any type of competition. It's something that I just want to wear and enjoy and be comfortable wearing, and hopefully be functional. So like I'm okay with experimenting with this type of cosplay, and I think that from here it looks really, really interesting. And what I like about using foil rather than heat vinyl transfer, at least in my experience, is that foil is a lot lighter than heat vinyl transfer. So although it is still a little bit stiffer on the silk chiffon than what the silk chiffon just was as, you know, by itself, it is still being able to flow nicely. there's my phone, please excuse me. Sorry about that. So yes, the sleeves are something that I am quite happy with. I think that they turned out very interesting and I like that. If not perfect, then we aim for interesting. All right, let's now get them sewn up. The sleeves are now in. Yay, I didn't film any of the process because I just was not feeling up to it. But it was very straightforward. It's just setting in a sleeve with a little bit of a puff. I overlocked the edges so that I could put that inside. It is a French seam down here, and I've done a little rolled hem by hand, just where it's leading to the cuff. And the cuff has been gathered down where I sewed it with the machine and then flipped over and whip stitched into place underneath. So the only thing I've got left to do is add some hook and eyes to the cuffs, and then we're all good. I was going to clip back the seam and then sew it into the bodice, but then I realized that I've got the sailor collar over the top, so you're really not going to see, and it is quite a dense chiffon, so although you can see through it slightly, it's not sheer, so you can't really notice it all that much. So I am going to keep it as is. I'm going to try it on, make sure it's not too tight underneath the armholes, or in the armholes. Brain is not working, and then that way, if it all fits and feels fine, I don't want to cut into it, because the overlocking, I don't want to cut through the overlocking unless I have to. So yes, sleeves are basically done. Okay, so I definitely do need to stop, but I just wanted to try it all on because I did manage to get the hook and eyes on the cuffs. So the sleeves are now done. This is where we're up to. It's a wearable garment. Yay! Overall, there's a lot of things that I can see that I'm not happy with about this outfit, but honestly, like, I still love it. It's still cute. It's very comfortable to wear. I am going to say that. It's quite light because it's all lightweight silk, essentially. The heaviest thing is probably the Cincher because that has the buckram in it. But other than that, it's honestly, like, very comfortable to wear. It is a little bit hot because, once again, summer and I don't have the air conditioning on. The darts are doing something weird. It kind of looks like I've got my nipples out for everyone to see, but I'm hoping with a really good iron that's gonna go away. I don't know why that's doing that. Could be just the way that I sewed the darts. Usually I do full pieces. I don't normally do darts. I normally do a front piece, a front side, and then a back side and a back for my bodices. So this is a little bit weird. I'm guessing and I'm hoping that it's not going to be that noticeable once I've got the big bow and the sailor collar on. It's just very much out there at the moment, so that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, that's cool. So I think I'm going to do a few other little bits and pieces to this. Like, I want to finish off the earrings because I've almost finished painting those completely, and then I will come back and I will show you where I'm up to. So my goal for today is to try and organize what's happening with these socks, because these are over thigh, like upper two thigh, is it two thigh socks? But the thing is that they're not exactly fantastic quality, and I don't think people know how to make socks to stay up for women who have thick thighs. And like, these are plus size like socks. So these are actually meant to go all the way up, but I need them to come to about where I've got them folded over. And it's alright that there's bunching down here because that is going to be covered and help create the kind of fullness that is associated with the yellow socks that is in, you know, the reference image. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to add some elastic to the top of the socks, which means I need to make a little bit of a channel. To do that, I have decided to try and sew a channel whilst the socks are on my legs. we'll see how that goes, but wish me luck. I have gone ahead and I have added the elastic to the top of the socks, and I sewed this while they were on my legs. Yes, I was able to do it, and I didn't poke myself once. Yay, I knew how to sew! So now I need to create the little dangles, so I need to create a little pattern for that first. They're going to be about that big, I think. I'm just going to draw it out and hopefully it works. I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go along. The tall white socks are now done. I have added in the elastic up the top and hemmed that all down, so that's all lovely. They're staying up, which is fabulous. And I have also completed the little flippy flaps of the dark blue that will match the blue in the hat. So yay, that's all good. I think what I'm going to work on now is I'm going to continue on with the socks and just kind of get that all done. I think I'm going to work on the red bows that I'm excuse me, that I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on elastic so that way I can like easily take them on and off. And the truth is I'm not sure that I'm going to be using the warmers that I've currently got, these ones, because they just don't look as full as what I would like them to be. So I have ordered some soccer socks that are in a golden yellow, and they should get here hopefully soon. So that would be absolutely amazing if I could have those before like the deadline for this project, because yeah, I want to see what they look like and which ones are going to be better. But I think what I'll do is I'll make the bows for the feet, or the ankle should I say, and then that just means that essentially all my legs are done. And that's like another thing that I can tick off. I've gone ahead and I've made the bows. I didn't film how I did it because I've got a tutorial all about it, which I'm going to link up the top. But now that I've got these on the elastic, let's put it all together, what I've got so far, and have a look, shall we? And there we go. So this is where I'm going to be stopping this video. And Donald Duck is a little over halfway done. I'm very excited. Well, a little bit more than halfway done, let's be honest. So I still have to style the wig and of course make the very iconic sailor collar, which is probably the most difficult part of this cosplay, and probably why I've done all of the little bits and pieces other than it just at this point in time, because there are feathers, there's bias binding. I have to somehow make sure that I iron flat the fabric, because since I've dyed it, it's just, I've ironed it twice now and it's still a little bit crinkled and it's really frustrating me, but I'll get out the steamer soon and we'll do it that way. But it also has the 3D model pieces, and that has been a journey. I'll explain that in the next video. And there's a little bow, and yes, and the wig, well, as you can see, the wig is unstyled at the moment. I've just tucked the fringe away because it's a very long fringe, and that's gonna be fun to style. This wig is very heavy. I am feeling very warm. It is still very much summer here in Australia, and although she's a short skirt, I am covered everywhere, and so it's very, very hot, but it's fine. I look fabulous, says every cosplayer ever. But yes, I am really happy with how this has turned out. I had a lot of fun making all of the pieces and figuring out all, like, how it all goes together, despite being very sick with bronchitis and a chest infection. Yay! Thank you so much for sticking around with me as I was very sick throughout this entire project. But yay! This is what it's all looking like. I'm loving it. I do hope that the other socks, the other yellow socks, come in time, because I feel like that will really bring this cosplay together. But yay! Okay, cool. I love the foiling of the sleeves. I don't know if anyone else will be a fan, but I love them. And I just love how much silk is in this costume. It's crazy, but I love it. All different types of silk. And yes, it's a very much a type of cosplay that you can spin and be very girly, and even though it's Donald Duck. The funny thing is there's probably more pieces to the legs than there is to the dress. It took me twice as long to put on all of the leg stuff than it did the actual main garment. So that's fun, that's new. If you have made it to the end of this video, give us a quack in the comments. That sounds fun. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank my amazing patrons who have been so brilliant at following along my progress in the close friends tab on Instagram and like giving me all the love as I continue on with this one. And it has helped me drive through the hardest parts of all of this adventure. But I especially want to thank the $10 a month tier patrons who are
Justine Ghosty, Fangirl X, Sam M, Monica, Lulu Alamode, Miss Twisted, Mithril Teacup, Barbara Lee, Trash Guardian Cosplay, Mother of Cats Cosplay, and Rogue Threads.
Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed that. Remember, quack in the comments, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye! At least I've got air. Like I can do this and I get some air.